Hey guys, it's Lex here with another theory video. And today, what I want to talk about is an aspect of my theory. As you guys know, there's no such thing as entertainment. And an aspect of that theory involves how good a piece of entertainment is actually helps to dictate how good that thing is at teaching you something. As you guys know, I don't really think entertainment is a thing. And in fact, what I truly believe is that all we're dealing with here when it comes to entertainment is different forms of media being used in different ways to communicate to each other. It's all about communication. And the better in which you use your medium, the better in which you're able to communicate. It goes hand in hand. And to lay out an example of that, what I want to talk about today in particular is the medium of film. And with film in particular, there are principles involving film that help you to either make a good or bad movie. And what's interesting here about the theory is that the good movies are better at communicating. The bad movies are worse at communicating. It goes hand in hand for whatever reason. That's just the case. So I'm going to lay it out here for you. So the principle that everybody knows who, watches film, who hears about film, who has any little inkling, it's like the most popular one, right? Show, don't tell. Everyone's heard of it before. Show, don't tell. Well, what if I told you that that very principle is key towards teaching others new and amazing and awesome things? Let me get right into it. So show, don't tell, for those of you who don't know, is the principle that whenever you're writing a story, whether that's for the screen, big screen, or the silver screen, TV, what you need to do is show the audience what you're talking about rather than telling them about something. So let me give an example. If someone has a traumatic thing that happens to them in their past, when they were growing up, the key part of the principle is you have to show what happened to them. You can't just merely talk about what happened to them. You have to showcase specifically what happened in their past and why they are that way. Now, you can just write in a dialogue scene specific details about what happened, like, oh, when I was younger, this happened to me, blah, 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 blah. And writers do that all the time. But the issue here is that as an audience member, for whatever reason, sometimes we pick up on it, sometimes we don't. And oftentimes that key traumatic incident might be a key thing in the story or plot that's trying to communicate the theme that the writer wants to communicate. In essence, it messes with the teaching process. So what's interesting here is writers who are able to effectively show rather than tell are able to better communicate their themes within their film. And by better communicating their themes within the film, we find that piece or property more entertaining. But it's really not entertainment. What it is more effective communication, more effective learning. And from being able to learn better, we're able to then communicate better. And what's interesting is that this little show, don't tell principle is actually something that's discovered by filmmakers. There wasn't a filmmaker one day in the tower that's like, you know what? Show, don't tell. That's a principle that all other filmmakers must use. And if they don't use it, then we have a problem. That just didn't happen. What happened is that people discovered through making different processes and making different films that this principle of show, don't tell tends to work better than if you just tell and not show. And that's very, very key here. It's very important because what you end up having is sort of like a glimpse into the human psyche, the mind, sort of how we're built. Think about it. When you learned how to walk, did your parents tell you how to walk or did they show you? Did you see them walk about and then start walking, or did they walk you through the steps of how to actually walk? That's actually the more effective way to learn. It's a principle not just in film, but just in teaching in general as a whole. It's how we learn. And that's one of the beautiful things about not just film, but all media in general, is that ultimately what it's best used for and what its purpose ultimately is for us to better learn as a society and for us to better understand how to learn or how to make film. Also teaches us and makes us better teachers overall, which makes me think all teachers should take a film study course and learn how to make film potentially. But anyway, I digress. The point I'm trying to make here, and I hope it's clear to y'all, is that this aspect of film, this one principle of show, don't tell, is key in illustrating the power that comes from being able to learn from a film. And films are not just one principle being illustrated on screen, but hundreds, if not thousands of principles all being illustrated at the same time. And that, my friends, is so cool, so key, and an interesting part of this theory. So the way it works is I think that ultimately, the more a filmmaker is able to properly execute on these filmmaking principles, the better film they have. The better film they have, the better they can communicate. So ultimately, that piece of film that you're watching, that you enjoy, is not just simply a thing to waste your time away with. It's not just simply a piece of useless entertainment. That piece of film you're watching is a textbook. It is more than a textbook. Images have over 1,000 words. Moving images have even more engraved in there. And that's, I think, one of the beautiful aspects of just film alone is that you're able to learn through moving images successively. And we're built, wired in a way for us to even learn like this in the first place. And to me, that's beautiful. So let me know what you guys think. Am I right on this? Are these principles in film linked to how we actually learn in our brain? And is film a medium for learning rather than brain rot? Am I wrong here? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm your man, Lex. This is a theory video. This is Theory of Entertainment. And I like to talk about this stuff. I'm going to continue talking about this stuff. Oh, and by the way, I like to do movie reviews as well. Right now, I'm focusing on superheroes because they're awesome. So if you're interested in more reviews as well of different films, movies, deep dives, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.